Hello, 5th grade artists. Miss Simmons here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Zentangle filled drawing. Now, if you've been following along with us on Canvas, you watched a video of different types of Zentangle projects. And all we're going to do is, instead of coloring inside of our drawing, we're going to fill it with different types of line designs and patterns, just like my fox over here. First thing you're going to need to do is pick your drawing. There is a website that will be linked on Canvas called artprojectsforkids.org. She has tons of free printable how to draw sheets. So you can go through and pick one. Make sure you choose one that has lots of big open spaces that will be easy for you to fill in. When you're following the steps on the drawing, if it has dotted lines, like this section right here, it means that you fold your paper. So to start this owl drawing, I would fold my paper in half, then open it and fold it in half again. By folding your paper like that, you're creating a grid that'll help you figure out where your lines and shapes need to be. So now that my paper's folded, I can look at step 1 and I can see that the beak for this owl touches right in the middle and comes down about 1/4 of the way into this bottom half of the page. So when I draw it, I'm going to make sure I start it in the middle and come down about 1/4 of the way. If you're working with us in class, you're only going to have 3 or 4 of these how to draw sheets to pick from. I'm just going to print class sets for you and you'll just choose from those. If you're working from home though, you can pick any drawing you want. Then I look at the next part, and it has these eyebrows coming all the way up till they almost touch the top. So I do the same thing on my paper. And I come all the way up. Okay, so once you've finished your drawing with your pencil, then we can talk about what other supplies you're going to need. Pause the video, take your time to complete your drawing. When you finish your drawing, you're going to need a black marker and some regular markers. They can be whatever color. I just happen to have these tropical colors, and either crayons or colored pencils. These are the supplies our students in class will be using. The colors are a little different because we can't share supplies, so we have to rotate them out. And another class is already using the regular colored markers and the crayons. So our 5th graders will be using tropical markers and colored pencils. But you can use whatever you have at home. The first thing you're going to do is trace your drawing with the black marker, which I have already done. Then you're going to use your regular markers to draw your Zentangle designs, and you're going to use your colored pencils or crayons to fill in the space around them. So I'll have both handy. Let me open up my markers. Your designs and patterns can be whatever you want, but you should try to stick to simple lines and shapes. The best way to make a Zentangle is to start with something simple and then slowly add more to it. For example, for my owl's belly down here, I might start with something easy, like curved lines like feathers. Then I could add a little bit more with my marker. Maybe there's also some polka dots. And I think I could use some little starbursts too. Now you'll notice I'm still using the same color. I haven't changed colors. By using the same color, as I move around my paper, it's going to help create balance and unity. If I mixed up all my colors and I had all different colors all around, then the different parts of my owl wouldn't stand out. I'll show you what I mean again when I switch back to my finished picture. But first, let me show you how to finish this spot. Once you've drawn some designs with the markers, then you can use colored pencils or crayons to fill in. If you color lightly with the colored pencils and the crayons, you can color right on top of the marker and you'll still be able to see it. Now, because this section of this owl is so big, I'm going to actually make a pattern with my colors, and I'm going to use two different colors. So I've got a nice blue-green color here, and then I'll probably use a different form of blue for the other section. You'll repeat this process on every part of whatever you choose to draw. I am going to show you one more thing for when you get to the background and other big sections. So I would keep going and I would color this whole thing in, but I don't think y'all need to watch me color the whole thing. If I'm working with something big like this background, I don't want it to have the same pattern all the way around. I might use the same colors, but maybe not the same pattern. I could do a few different things. I could create a background like I did with my fox here, where I put a line and then some trees and a sky, and then I broke up the space with different patterns. Or I can just break up the space and leave it abstract. So if my owl's going to be different blues and greens, some nice cool colors, I think my background over here might be pink and yellow to make it stand out. So I could use my pink marker and I could make sections. I could draw some nice bold lines to section off the space. And then I could do a different design in each one of these areas. That way, I don't have to try and cover my entire background with one big design. I can break it up into smaller ones. Then I can go in and color it with my colored pencils or my crayons. Now I'm going to jump back to my fox that's already finished so you can have one more good look at him. Okay, so each area has different designs. Because my fox's head and tail were so big, I also broke those spaces up into even smaller areas. If you're working from home and you have a variety of different supplies to choose, I would use those. Mix it all up. Big markers, little markers, crayons, colored pencils. The more tools you have, the more layers you can create. Take your time. This is not going to be a super fast project. It should take you more than one day. When you're done, make sure you take a picture and send it to me on Canvas. I can't wait to see what pictures y'all choose to draw. Have a great Gator Day.